Hello and welcome to the Ring Ramble podcast. My name is Brad.
My name is V.
Today we're going to review a pretty good Raw, an incredible NXT, and a very lukewarm Smackdown.
Yeah, not a very good Smackdown. I'm surprised. Usually
Not
Smackdown's
really.
pretty good.
Smackdown usually is consistent, but not this
Well,
time around.
we know why you're mad, but we'll get to that. All right.
Hurt, yeah.
Starting off with Monday Night Raw, September 30th edition. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett are in the ring, foreshadowing the chaos to come when it comes to Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman match. That was the main event. They welcome everyone to the show and give a playback from what occurred last week, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. Jey becoming IC champion. I failed to mention this last time, but we witnessed history. I didn't say that when I was talking about attending that live event and seeing Jey win, but yeah, we witnessed history. All right, well, Jey is seen backstage with the fans, making his way through the crowd to the ring. Jey Uso is given "You Deserve It" chance. He's gonna fight. Oh, he claims he's gonna fight every week and everyone for this Intercontinental title. He's been playing with the Yeet chants. He was playing with the Yeet chants, expressing how special this title win is for him. He said it was very difficult to get here, Roman making it hard for him, and how his whole life and in wrestling he was just seen as just a twin. His biggest fan is his mother, and he spoke to her, and she told him to go out there and show everybody who you are and get it. Now that he's got it, "Mom, we did it," is what he said, and he got pretty emotional there. Braun Breaker's music plays, and Braun tells Jey that he's not out here to crash the party, but to tell Jey he's got a lot of respect for him. He mentions that the one that deserved it should walk out as champ that night last week, and Jey was the better man. He's not going to attack Jey, he guarantees, but he just felt like he should be the first one as a competitor to give his congratulations. Before Braun could leave, Jey said that there's some dogs in Indiana. The crowd starts barking, and Braun smiles and leaves. Very wholesome moment. And I was glad he's had this babyface turn, because this will make him slow down a little bit more. Kind of. You'll see what happens later. But Liv and Dom were seen outside on the lowrider. Dom gets a call from Finn, and JD and Carlito ask also, where is Finn? Dom asks if Finn is good, and Finn says he's got some traveling issues, and he's got that taken care of. Now, this guy over here thought that he was talking about Liv Morgan for something. I swear I didn't hear anything about Liv Morgan.
He said, "Tell Liv that I got it handled."
I thought he was talking about his traveling.
No.
Okay, whatever. We'll never know what that means.
Oh, it will make sense at Bad Blood.
Oh, Bad Blood.
Yes, it will. Perhaps a new Judgment Day member?
Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh.
Rey Mysterio.
No.
All right. Rey Mysterio versus Xavier Woods match was the first match of the night. Good reversals, decent match, but it was very fast, quick to end there. There was a small botch. At some point, I didn't note what it was, but a huge botch. It was intended, of course. Xavier unmasked Rey Mysterio and rolled him up for the win, and the crowd was booing him badly.
I was booing him too.
Yeah, me too, honestly. Like, I'm an Alberto Del Rio fan, but there's a lot of things wrong with him in terms of how many times he's unmasked people, whether maliciously or not. But he's done it a lot in his career, and that's not very good. Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler confront Lyra Valkyria in the locker room, telling her that she's going to lose without Natalya and Zelina by her side, and that they will be out there to see Lyra lose, basically. That was a match we saw last week on Main Event, but no one knows that because they don't ever televise those. But that time, though, Lyra won. So
She did pull it off.
Backstage, Kofi Kingston asked Xavier if he's okay and if he unmasked Rey on purpose. Xavier thought that it was weird for Kofi not to congratulate him, and of course he wasn't unmasking Rey on purpose. Kofi congratulates him and asks Adam to give Xavier a title opportunity against Jey Uso, and Xavier is excited about that, and that will occur next week. Lyra Valkyria versus Zoe Stark. Pure fusion cringe I put on here. I just can't take them seriously, and this hurts as somebody who likes Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I don't really care for Sonya Deville that much. I mean, a lot of her time in the WWE has been as more like a backstage kind of executive kind of person,
Or her,
but not so much like wrestler. But during this match, a nasty suplex by Lyra. Shayna distracts. Sonya knees Lyra. And Zoe gives the Z360 for the win. That's basically how it goes. Pure Fusion was going to jump Lyra, but Kaden Carter and Katana Chance came in for a save. And Katana Chance was seen backstage with a face mask.
Yeah, I guess something happened a long time ago.
Yeah, apparently the Pure Fusion, someone in there had messed up her face, and now she has like face mask or something. Well, anyways, Adam is telling security to prepare for the Bronson match, and then CM Punk was passing by. Then it goes back to Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, basically complaining about how Katana's face was broken by the Pure Fusion Collective, and they're ready to jump the Pure Fusion Collective at any time. This is when the Unholy Union interrupt, looking tall as fuck, might I add. Yeah. Why the hell were they towering over even the interviewer and the rest of them? It was, I don't know what they said though. I was so distracted by how tall they looked compared to them.
Yeah, it was distracting how tall they were.
But I'm pretty sure they just said like, "Oh, that's so cute. Like, you think you're gonna get beat someone, whatever." That's like what they usually say.
Probably what it was.
Adam Pearce is seen in the ring with security inside the cage. For some reason they brought the cage. I don't really know why. For the Hell in a Cell match that will happen at Bad Blood today, given the time that this video comes out. He grants Drew and Punk the opportunity to speak one another before their match at Bad Blood. Drew goes first to tell Punk... Okay, sorry. It's just like to tell Punk to mention why. No, Drew mentions why he's wearing all black, and it's out of respect for Punk's wife, AJ Lee. After Saturday, she will have to bathe and feed him and likely leave him after this, and it's a black tux as a celebration for Punk being gone forever. After all the beatings the fans witnessed, he still wonders why the fans chant his name, mentioning Roxanne Perez last week, who said that she knows Punk for who he is and that she should have been a Drew fan. He claims that as evidence of how horrible Punk is as a person, he says that Punk taught him how to hate. He hates Punk, and that hate has stayed with him, but luckily for him on Saturday, that hate will die with Punk. Punk is pretty quiet until he said that in his entire career, he has been called many things, but although he is the voice of the voiceless, he is voiceless because he has nothing to say to garbage like Drew. He calls Drew a son of a bitch, and Punk has been avoiding home because he doesn't want AJ to see the man he has become because of Drew. He's going to send Drew home to Scotland in a box, and he wants Drew to remember and never forget that Drew had prayed for this. When Punk takes everything from Drew and he is gripped with fear, Punk will wipe the blood off of Drew's eyes, and Drew would not be left praying to a devil nor a god, but to CM Punk, and that he will see Drew at Hell in a Cell. That was dramatic. I basically said it exactly how it went.
I mean, it's really it's kind of crazy how they're really kind of making this as dark and as evil as possible for this match. I hope it somewhat lives up to some hype of it, but I don't know. I'm indifferent. I don't think it's going to be anything that extraordinary, but who knows? I guess I'm spoiled because I'm thinking of Mankind and The Undertaker, like that kind of stuff. We're not going to see anything like that, obviously.
Obviously not. So. I mean, that spot with when you fell through the cage and into the ring was not even supposed to happen.
No, it did not.
All right. Okay, so sorry, I'm eating food. All right, Braun Strowman is backstage being interviewed about how he feels about his match against Bronson. He says that he will prove he is the monster of all monsters when he's the last monster standing. Miz interrupts to tell Braun he doesn't appreciate Braun interrupting his match with Bronson last week. R-Truth returns to tell Miz that Karrion Kross has been picking on the Miz, so he's got them a match against AOP, which is AOP. Who's got a wizard and a witch lady with them, he says. Miz is scared, but he's happy to be back with Truth. Or is he?
Yeah, or is he?
Sami Zayn is backstage about his rejections from Gunther. He's talking about his rejections from Gunther. Sami says the disrespect from Gunther has been bothering him. The rejection hit him in a sore spot, but at the end of the day, he knows he's good enough to be World Heavyweight Champion. Boo. He speaks directly to Gunther. He can keep ducking, but Sami won't stop until he gets his chance. Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio, Carlito, and JD McDonough versus the LWO, Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, and Dragon Lee. Wild dominated the Judgment Day by himself, which is kind of crazy. All the LWO do flips onto their own onto the men of the Judgment Day. Judgment Day are getting beat at the start for the most part. Dragon Lee gave a nasty knee to JD. I mean, JD sells really great, so he's going to make that shit look nasty. Let's be real. Weird transition from Dragon Lee getting all the members of the Judgment Day into a corner. Del Toro gives a coast-to-coast drop onto them, which is really great. All men suicide dive onto the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan distracts the ref. Finn Balor attacks Del Toro, I believe, and JD does his finisher for the win. All Judgment Day members are huddled together speaking. Finn says that he heard what Damian said last week about how he would rip out Finn's heart. Finn claims he doesn't have a heart and at Bad Blood, he will prove that how Damian needed Finn and the rest of the Judgment Day needed him, but they never needed Damian. Liv says she's going to prove that she is a home-wrecking, man-stealing, title-taking women's champion of all time. Rhea comes out. Rhea tells Liv that she was with Dom for a long time, and she knows everything about his dirty secrets. Bringing out a cage, Dom is extremely claustrophobic, she says, and when he's locked in the cage at Bad Blood, crying that he will see his girlfriend realize that she's not as good as Rhea, and he will watch her win the title that she never lost. Damian snuck behind the Judgment Day, and began attacking all of them. Rhea makes her way attacking Liv and Dom. Rhea headbutting Liv and slamming Dom into the shark cage. Rhea scares Liv out of the arena, and just before she could lock Dominic in the cage, Liv aggressively slams Rhea to the floor. Damian has still been fighting off the other three members of the Judgment Day, but Finn gets his way. Now all members attack Damian for a while until their music cues, and that's basically the end of that.
Interesting.
I still think Liv Morgan's probably going to win that one.
Oh, I most definitely think Liv Morgan's going to win this,
Yeah.
and I think and I also think
Finn
Finn
Balor
Balor is going to beat Damian Priest.
Yeah. I hope with Finn Balor specifically, I really hope that it's that.
I hope Liv Morgan wins, to be honest.
We'll see. All right, I'm pretty sure though. I'm pretty sure we're right. Sheamus vignette. Oh God, this is gonna be. Oh wait, no. Oh, I don't have to say it here. I have to say it at the end of this. Sheamus vignette says. Sheamus said that it hurt being attacked by a former friend, a man he still calls Butch. Pete Dunne found himself on the wrong side of a fight night, he claims. If he wants to fight rough, Dunne could bring his bat or whatever he wants. He issues basically to fight Dunne again. Damage Control vignette, mentioning how they beat Unholy Union last week. They plan on making the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Jade fall. Damage Control hasn't been the same since they lost those titles, but they are the most dominant force in the women's division. Io tells Bianca that she knows she's already in her head. I like the Damage Control.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Alright. American-made Chad Gable versus Kofi Kingston of the New Day. Nasty German suplex by Chad Gable. Gable was bleeding a bit from the head. I'm not really sure how that even happened. Xavier's at ringside, by the way. This is pretty important later. Cool series of pin counters and reversals, and an incredible show of strength by Chad Gable. Gable got the ankle lock, but was reversed. Gable blocked Trouble in Paradise using an ankle lock, which is pretty cool. That was eventually broken, and Chad had pulled himself into ringside. Kofi splashed onto the American Maid, and Xavier helped out. Ivy distracted the ref, and Xavier Woods basically screwed Kofi. And Chad Gable gave Chaos Theory a deadlift suplex, and Gable beat Kofi, which is, crazy. So, that's basically insinuating New Day is going to be no longer.
It's almost over.
Yep. Bronson Reed is being interviewed about his match. He is asked if Seth Rollins' return is in his mind, down the road. Bronson says no, and he hopes that Seth Rollins does come back. He took months off his career, but next time Seth comes, he will take years off of his life. He claims he will be the last monster standing. Adam Pearce is backstage speaking to security, and Gunther is seen passing by. Wyatt 6 vignette, cryptic as per usual. Not sure who they're talking about in this one, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
It's very poetic, I'm not very clever like that, where I'm like, oh, I know who they mean.
I actually don't even remember. I don't even recall. I do know that they had the girl one. What's her name?
Oh, Nikki Cross.
Yeah, she was at the end of it. I don't know necessarily where that direction that was going. Probably have to
the
watch
end
it.
of most of it.
Probably have to watch it again. Maybe that
Maybe.
way I can probably figure it out. Maybe we'll just put a short of what it meant.
All right, this one is long, guys. I'm gonna try my best. This was really long. Gunther makes his way to the ring. In between, they mentioned Ilya has been injured. With his match against Gunther at a house show, a potential ACL tear will take 6 to 9 months for him to return, possibly. Man, does that just suck? He's like my favorite of the current roster, and
It definitely puts a damper in his progress.
yeah, it makes me sad.
I mean, the people are lucky at that house show, though. Apparently, they got a standing ovation.
Well,
And
maybe
people
because he
were all
was limping
super
out of his
stoked.
ring.
Well, I mean,
They
they did a
usually
good
do
job.
that when they're hurt.
Well,
But yeah,
they
I
did a
know.
good job.
It's Gunther and Ilya.
Right.
I mean,
They were just building that up and preparing us for when it was actually going to happen. And now, it's going to be a while.
that sucks. But you know what? Long-term booking. All right. Gunther says life as champ has been fantastic with the luxuries and amenities, but one thing he doesn't like is the insults of having to deal with Sammy every week. He couldn't have asked for anyone more annoying than Sammy. True.
Yeah, very true, actually.
Sammy comes out to tell Gunther if he finds him annoying, that he should just accept the challenge to put an end to it once and for all.
Which is also true.
But he also knows he won't do it because deep down Gunther knows why. Gunther said he tried to beat into Sammy, but the reason he is not the real reason is because he's not on his level. Gunther says Sammy's not on his level. Sammy says, then how come he beat him at WrestleMania? And that drives Gunther crazy, and that he was scared he's scared it would happen again. Gunther says Sammy is right, he is afraid, but not of Sammy, he's afraid for his reputation. Because after all the legendary things he's done as IC champ, losing to Sammy has been the most embarrassing thing in his career. Which is pretty valid, because that is pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, it's pretty,
I mean, Sammy's great, but, you know.
I mean, it doesn't look good for someone like Gunther to
No.
have, like, the few people that have beat him, like Braun Breaker, Ilya Dragunov, and now Sami Zayn.
Yeah, it's kinda random.
Probably random, but I can see why, because Sami Zayn has a long history.
That's
But,
true.
you know, for Gunther, looking at a Sami Zayn type guy, it's not gonna look good for him.
He brought his family to WrestleMania too. This is what Gunther said. But he didn't parade them around like Sammy did. When Gunther lost, he faced his father, who asked him, quote, "Son, I flew all the way from Vienna," that's my name, by the way, "to Philly just to see you lose to that bum Sami Zayn," end quote. He doesn't expect Sammy to understand, since he knows Sammy's family is used to seeing him fail. Gunther claims that he is everything to his family. He's a special golden goose, and he is everything Sammy can't be, which is world heavyweight champion. Sammy says Gunther's right. He loses, but he picks himself back up and moves forward, but Gunther crumbles. Never asked for a rematch from Sammy and disappeared, unable to show his face. All because Gunther's dad made him feel like a loser, and now he's showing his father that he's a coward. Gunther attacked Sammy because that hit him in a soft spot, and somehow Sammy gets his way. Very lame. Gunther locks a sleeper and gives a nasty powerbomb. Gunther tells Sammy he's got his match.
On Monday Night Raw. Which just tells you how that's going to end. But then again, Jey Uso won on Monday.
Exactly.
Monday Night Raw. So,
exactly.
I mean, could lightning strike
God.
twice in that regard? I mean,
Just-
that'd just be crazy, though.
If the podcast next week starts with a very dampered mood from me, you know what result probably happened. God, I'm a Sami Zayn hater. Now, I wasn't ever before. Alright, Awesome Truth versus AOP. Somehow Truth lifted one member of AOP by himself and immediately did the five knuckle shuffle. Once Miz was tagged, he kicked Truth in the face, betraying his teammate. Miz walks away, and the AOP attack R-Truth and win.
Heel turn. Miz.
Amazing. I'm so happy. He was the best as a heel.
He was a great heel.
He was an awesome heel.
This is awesome.
I mean, there's a reason why that show, WWE show, heels, literally Miz is like the face of that.
Yeah.
Because he
Pretty
is
much.
an amazing heel.
No.
Yeah. Backstage, Gunther and Ludwig are being interviewed. What Sammy has said... Oh, okay, he was asked... what Sammy has said had made Gunther give... Wait, what was... I wrote this so wrong. It's... Oh my God, I'm blanking. Okay, what Sammy said over there, was that the reason why Gunther gave Sammy the title opportunity? Before he can answer, Braun Breaker shows up and he said, like, Gunther kind of looks weirded out, and he's like, I'm sorry, I just wanted to see myself, like, closer. I just wanted to see the title for myself. Gunther says he really is a badass to Ludwig, which was kind of random.
Yeah, it was kind of goofy, too.
And then Braun replies, that's right, and you will see sooner than you think.
I mean, that should be interesting, actually. It should be interesting to see him try to go for that title run against.
Oh, dude, I'm so hyped for that.
Yeah, that should be
especially
cool.
Since he is one of the ones who beat Braun.
That's true. That is true.
Yep. All right, main event: Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman, last Monster Standing match. Immediately, Braun attacks Bronson. Braun hits Bronson with steel steps and gets slammed through the announce desk. Bronson was taking most of these bumps, by the way. Ref must reach a count of 10 for the match to conclude. By the way, just letting you know, like, someone has to be fallen, of course. All right. Braun and Bronson are in the ring with a series of chairs set up on ringside. Very slow bounce to the ropes with a forearm. Bronson crashed into the chairs. Braun was limping. We won't say why until later.
All right.
I knew you were gonna say it. All right. Okay. Bronson grabbed a very conveniently placed chair by the where the entrance area is, but Braun takes it away, hitting Bronson aggressively onto the back, setting him up to large boxes in the technical area. Bronson gave a Death Valley driver to Braun onto the tables from the top of the boxes. Both men incredibly gassed, but they're bigger guys.
Right.
Bronson pushed Braun into the barricade, breaking it. Bronson slammed into Braun again into the second barricade, breaking it again where the fans are.
Actors.
Yeah. Bronson climbs to the top rope, delivering Tsunami to Braun. The ref is distracted, so Bronson is yelling out for him, which is so weird. I'm like, why is the ref there looking at the damages instead of just being in the match?
I mean, he's supposed to be paying attention to the match. All the future wrestlers came out.
So Bronson starts assaulting the security, future wrestlers, to get to the ref and tossing him as well. And for some reason, Adam starts yelling at Bronson. I'm like, dude, there's a match.
There's a match going on here, Pierce.
Bro. And then so the ref started counting like some, I don't know, it was kind of some BS. Bronson gets up and Braun is unable to make his way up to the ropes, but he tries. Bronson throws a chair at Braun's face. Bronson climbs up the ropes and both men slam onto the mat, breaking the ring. Which actually was something I heard that backstage they were not happy about how it went.
Of course not.
It just didn't look nearly as impactful.
No.
Obviously, but I mean, it was cool to do it, but I also felt like,
Just the whole idea that there's supposed to be a referee sitting there doing a count and being occupied with something that's on, like, something else entirely was kind of stupid.
I'm like, that's so
I mean,
BS.
It made no sense at all. Why would you have this match when you know it was going to be all this chaos?
Especially like all the security was over there blocking it.
Security
so, like,
was
so what are you gonna
dealing
do,
with
ref?
it. What are you doing, referee?
It was some BS.
Stupid.
But Bronson gets up after that spot, and lo and behold, Seth Rollins returns to stomp Bronson Reed. Braun was the last monster standing, ending the match. Seth laughs at Bronson.
I mean, again, I always will say, every time Bronson Reed is in a match, it's good to see him getting that recognition, being a main eventer, and showing off what the ability that he has. So awesome. And him having a rivalry with Seth Rollins, cool. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm not a big Seth Rollins fan.
But for God's sake, a last man standing match and having a referee turn around.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Just stupid. It made no sense. It was a bad view. It was a bad way.
Yeah.
It was a bad way of doing it. He could have.
They could have written that better.
Could have written that better for sure.
No matches were not mentioned on this one. We saw every match. Card for next week's Raw: 2 members of the Pure Fusion Collective versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Oh boy. Okay, this is the thing I have to say. Sheamus versus Pete Dunne and a good old-fashioned Donnybrook rules match. Whatever that means. Jey Uso versus Xavier Woods for the Intercontinental Championship, and Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the World Heavyweight Championship. Stacked. They got 2 championship matches. That's pretty lucky. Well, all right. Next On to NXT, October 1st edition, CW debut episode. What happened?
You didn't want to sit there and talk about the.
Oh, yeah.
So the
Best
Braun's.
match.
Oh.
But what are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about the whole thing with Braun Strowman.
Oh, no, I'm talking about that on the very end.
Okay, so the best
but
match
the best match of
Raw
the night was definitely
was
the Braun.
the Braun
Bronson
Strowman
one,
and Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Was there a worse match? I mean, I guess the Lyra one, because it was kind of like, it just ended really abruptly. I don't know. There's no worse match, I guess.
I guess not.
There's just the best one. All right, NXT October 1st edition, so the CW episode. Shawn Michaels arrives first to the ring. He welcomes everyone to the debut episode of the CW. He reveals the new championship titles, and they're kind of ugly, no lie. They're not as nice as the old ones, which also got me thinking because I wanted to buy that title, the NXT one. I'm like, are they going to stop selling it? Because I should probably get it now if like I really want it. I don't know. He asked Chicago, "Are you ready?" Triple H appeared suddenly behind him, and he repeats, "Are you ready?" Packed crowd, I must say. First match, which surprisingly the first match, Julia versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship.
Setting the bar really, really high.
Really super high. I don't think
the
any
rest of the matches.
Yep,
tonight.
I'm gonna do some foreshadowing here, but the rest of the show did not live up to that match.
No,
this was a great match. All right. The ref started holding the title upside down. I put that on no. Very fast-paced start of like counters, pin reversals. Julia headbutting Roxanne a whole bunch. Roxanne keeps pushing at Julia, who replied with multiple headbutts. Hammerlock suplex by Julia. Botched weird transition for Julia into the outside. Suicide dive by Roxanne Perez. Julia did a double underhook suplex off the top turnbuckle, which was really awesome. Roxanne gets Julia in a crossface, but Julia maneuvers to give Roxanne the STF. Roxanne rope breaks the submission. Roxanne attempts pop rocks, but was countered, but she tries again and succeeds, but Julia rolls out this time.
Smart move.
I know, for real. I was like,
That's
no.
a veteran move.
Julia gave the Northern Lights bomb onto Roxanne onto the ringside floor. Roxanne grabs the new title while the ref is distracted. Someone comes in and attacks Julia. Perez gives pop rocks and wins. Cora Jade was revealed to be the one who attacked Julia.
One of the most random.
No, it was not random. We knew this girl was coming back.
But like, could have been somebody else, though.
I agree. I know a lot of people like her, cause like her and Roxanne are kind of like regarded as the future of the women's division and stuff, which is cool and all, but definitely Roxanne by miles, in my opinion, is better.
Even a good wrestler? That's like
I personally don't think so.
I don't even think I've ever seen her wrestle before.
I've seen, like, from NXT 2.0 days. She's whatever, like, not like Roxanne level, honestly, but all right, it was Cora Jade.
Hey.
Roxanne was smiling at Cora, and then basically Roxanne did pop rocks and ended up winning, and then smiling at her while she held her title up, which was interesting because they were kind of enemies in the past. Axiom and Nathan Frazier are playing WWE 2K as themselves against A-Town Down Under. Axiom says Nathan needs to get his anger under control, being a tad bit competitive when they lost to A-Town Down Under in the game. Nathan gets upset. Axiom said he proved this point, and so Nathan acknowledges and is ready to change. Kind of foreshadowing that something might happen in the future, especially a miscommunication between them next week against A-Town Down Under in real life.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Ava's speaking to CM Punk. She wants Punk to be fair with this match between Trick Williams and Ethan Page. Lexis King appears with the Chicago Star shaved on his head, claiming that he's trying to be the better man and better than his father, and that he had the chance to win last week against Oro Mensah, but he chose to be the bigger man. Punk gives him advice that he makes a choice of which instinct to listen to inside of him, because he has two. One saying that he needs to play evil, like devil and angel kind of thing. Backstage, Jada Parker told Lola Vice to stay in her lane against the Fatal Influence, both claiming that the other needs the other. Like, you need me, I don't need you kind of thing. Kalani shows up to tell them that they both need each other, mentioning it was a good thing that she had a backup plan, which I was like, what does that mean? All right. Next match, Wesley versus Zachary Wentz street fight. This was a good match.
Awesome
Finish was
match.
kind of underwhelming, but it was a good match. Wesley tries to splash on top of... Oh. Who was it? I'm going to skip that one. I said Wes tries to splash on top of Wes. Oh. All right. Zach dodging and giving a suicide dive to Wes. Zach slams Wes into a shopping cart of stuff and running the shopping cart towards Wes against the steel steps. We want tables chance ensue. Wes slams onto Zach onto plywood, methinks.
Yes.
It was like a giant frame of plywood. Wes begins hitting Zach with a kendo stick. Nasty super kick by Zach. Zach hits Wes with chairs. Zach had Wes in a sleeper, and Wes was pulled the both of them onto a plywood hoisted by 4 chairs on ringside. Coast to coast by Zach onto the trash can with Wes behind it, which is pretty cool. It was also nasty. Zach begins lodging a chair between the top and middle turnbuckles, falling into it eventually. Wes was dropped onto a chair. Zach hit Wes again with a kendo stick, then placing a trash can onto Wes, hitting him with kendo sticks. A double stop and a swanton bomb while he had the trash can on top of him. Zach was going to attempt to do his UFO DDT, but Wes pushed Zach off. But Zach was supposed to land on the table that was positioned outside, but he actually missed it completely.
Oh, yeah,
fell
he did.
on the floor.
That was a nasty. That was a nasty ball.
gross.
Yeah, he missed that completely.
Completely, yeah. Wes double stomped Zach on a chair. Zach got a chair telling Wes that he doesn't want to hit him. Wes hits him with a low blow and begins hitting Zach with some punches with a chain wrapped around his hand. Wes wraps a chain around his shins and delivers a Meteora to Zach and wins.
Yes, that was a very odd ending.
It was a very odd ending.
Wrapping those chains around his knees.
Like, in comparison to the previous match that they had, that
sure.
ending was insane.
Yeah,
I mean, I love
very
the
good.
UFO DDT.
Yeah.
It's insane. I love it. But it's different. It's just different.
Definitely.
Backstage, The Miz is ready to host Miz TV being booed as he betrayed R-Truth the day before. Miz TV. Miz relishing in the boos. The ruler Obafemi comes out dressed very suave, I must say. But the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo, also was dressed elegantly. But that's pretty normal for him, let's be honest. He's always
True.
wearing a suit. Tony is asked about if he's afraid of Oba or how he's afraid of Oba or something like that. Tony says that he usually strikes fear in others, but there's a reason why Oba is so dominant. Yeah, it's because there's some typos. He felt Oba's power in the ring, but he's using that fear as motivation to do the unthinkable, becoming the new NXT North American champion. Oba responds, claiming that Tony doesn't believe a single word he is saying. He can believe whatever he likes, but it's Oba's title. Tony says Oba is speaking of him like he knows him. He grew up in the streets of Chicago, and he's got friends and family who motivate him to be the man he is today. Oba says they can't fight for you, and next week it's just going to be the two of us. Or last time that happened, Tony broke and beat Tony. And Oba put a doubt in Tony's mind. Oba said that he cannot be beaten. Both men stand up, and Tony responds, "You're just a man, Oba." And I can't do an Italian accent. You're just no. I'm not gonna even try it.
It was like it was like a Rocky IV montage where Rocky and Ivan Drago and saying that you are a man. Obafemi is Ivan Drago.
Okay. Yeah. So he said, "You're just a man, Oba," and Oba says, "I am inevitable." And I wrote in all caps, "He's Thanos," because Thanos line.
Thanos.
And he said, "You're still broken." Miz says the North American Championship will be on the line next week. Cora Jade is asked about her return. She said that she was forgotten about considering all this Julia stuff. Roxanne shows up to ask, "What the hell was that?" Cora acknowledges their history, but Roxanne is still champ, so you're welcome, she says. Well, I'm sorry, Cora Jade. I mean, like, I don't know, because there's been, like, a period of time where she hasn't been here, ACL tear. After ACL tear, Julia's just the hot new thing right now. It's just kind of inevitable.
Yeah, I don't
Like
really think
Oba.
anybody's really talking about Cora Jade at all, or thinking about what's going on with her.
No, not really. All right, let me just, get through this one, because this was a blah match. Lola Vice and Jada Parker versus the Fatal Influence, JC Jade and Fallon Henley with Kalani Jordan on commentary and Jasmine Nix at ringside. Jada gave a teardrop to JC Jane on top of Fallon Henley. Both Lola and Jada keep tagging in to steal the opportunity from each other to attack the Fatal Influence. Finally, Fallon Henley evens the odds out. Lola protected Jada from getting jumped, but Jada got upset not knowing Lola tried to save her. Lola has been unable to get tagged by Jada. JC Jane randomly screeching throughout this match for some reason. Double clothesline by Lola and Fallon. Onto Fallon, I think. Jasmine Nix is distracting Jada. Lola complaining that Lola tried to attack her. Jada got mad and walked off. Lola counters with multiple kicks on Fatal Influence, not for long, though, as Fatal Influence do their meet in the middle type of finisher and win. The Fatal Influence call out Kalani to give a challenge for their women's North American title. Not quite sure who of those girls was going to get it.
Right.
Kalani knew it was coming. This was the plan that she said that she had the backup plan. And she didn't come alone, as Jada and Bianca came to her assist. It's pretty cool. They were all there together. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, teaser for what looks like a new lady coming to NXT. Her name is Delta, and I will talk about her later on the side notes, but let's just say I'm in love.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's just because, like, she's Australian, and she looks exactly like the Junker Queen if you play Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Yeah. All right, main event. CM Punk special guest referee Trick Williams versus Ethan Page for the NXT Championship. Loud crowd for Trick, of course. CM Punk chants as well. Ethan is getting mad at the CM Punk's job as a ref. Punk blocked a cheap shot by Trick. Ethan placed his legs on the rope for leverage during a pin, and Punk laughs at Ethan. Trick attacks Ethan at ringside. Trick is slammed through the barricade. Trick is bleeding from the mouth, actually, and Ethan sucks chants ensue. Jumping neckbreaker by Trick. Both men exchange blows. Crowd is going crazy for Trick, as per usual. Ethan gives an ego's edge to Trick, with mic issues ensuing. Okay, so he threw Trick using the ego's edge onto the announce desk, and all of a sudden, all the audio stuff started like ringing really bad. Punk wants a winner and refuses to start a count for a DQ. And Trick gets back into the ring. Williams gave a trick shot, but weakly fell, not able to pin. Ethan is unconscious, falling onto Trick as like the same way he won the title. Trick ends up kicking out. Punk begs them both to get up. Both men exchange blows. Both men seem very tired and kind of out of it. Trick misses the trick shot. Ethan carried Trick and gave a go to sleep, looking directly at Punk. Trick kicks out and Trick falls into Punk's arms. Ethan misses a kick onto Trick, turning around to get a trick shot. Trick is NXT champ. Yet again, he won. Slow finish, I must say, but I love both wrestlers, so either result is cool. And while Trick was celebrating, Punk delivered a GTS onto Ethan, and that was the end of that show. Yeah, he did. He just grabbed Ethan and...
For no apparent reason?
Well, because he didn't like him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. NXT October 8th match card, which is another special episode of the CW. The match card will be Randy Orton versus Javon Evans. Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill with the Women's North American Champion Kalani Jordan versus the Fatal Influence. Oba Femi versus Tony D'Angelo for the NXT North American Championship. And Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus A-Town Down Under, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Sounds pretty good.
Pretty cool.
All right. Let's get to this Smackdown.
Pretty
Some
well.
guy named Hardy. I'm uncultured. Oh, wait. Smackdown October 4th edition. I'm getting ahead of myself. Some guy named Hardy. I don't know who that is. I'm uncultured, or at least I must be because I've never heard of him.
Oh, you mean the country western singer?
Yeah, but he looked young, so I'm not
I
surprised
don't
that I don't know
either,
who that is.
But I guess it was a big deal.
But cool. AJ Styles returned as the first part of the show. Joe Hendry's face was in the crowd, and it made me happy. He's got a little baby face angle going, giving high fives, and AJ Styles and welcome back chants ensue.
He did a couple of too sweets too to some of the
Yeah, he
crowd,
did.
which was that'd be pretty awesome.
AJ says that he misses the WWE Universe, and in the past he has done things he regrets. But enough of the past, he is there tonight to rebuild the legacy of AJ Styles. He knows there are a lot of guys who don't like him, and those who need to be reminded that this is the house that AJ Styles built. Carmelo Hayes interrupts to say that he is the one who beat Andrade 3 times. It's a tie, bro. It's a tie, bro. Andrade beat you 3.
He's going to run that forever.
For real. And he's a huge fan of old-timers like AJ. And he is sure that AJ will announce that he signed a Legends contract or something, but he wants to talk about himself for a minute. A guy like him who deserves to be U.S. champ, not LA Knight or Andrade. AJ cuts him off and gives advice that he's been in the ring with LA Knight before, regarding him as relentless because he came to his house and having their match at WrestleMania. Carmelo says that he doesn't need his advice, especially from a quitter. AJ said if Carmelo is that good, then he would be U.S. champ by now. Melo says if he was that phenomenal, then he would be world champion right now. AJ says, we're both in our gear. Maybe we could fight right here and right now. Melo says, nah, I'm good. And LA Knight's music cues. Knight points out that he could beat the both of them and be on his way having himself a good night. Or Melo can beat AJ Styles right now. And then Knight would advocate for a championship match for Melo. And either way, everyone will still chant for him. And he will still have a good night. AJ Styles versus Carmelo Hayes. Unfortunate, this was not a long match.
Nope.
AJ Styles got injured pretty early into this matchup. He went to the side trying to keep himself into the match, but his leg buckled, and the match had to be called off. AJ Styles angrily limped backstage. LA Knight surprised Melo with the BFT after that. How do you feel? He
sold it well.
Yeah, he did. How do you feel as an AJ Styles appreciator and he's your favorite wrestler?
I mean, the injury is the same. It's the same injury he sustained when he was out for a while. But he is an older guy.
That's true.
And that he uses, being that it's an ankle. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't look good. But I guess it depends on what they kind of come out with it. But I mean, for someone his age, someone that uses a lot of agility, he's very agile. He does a lot of kind of jump. He's putting a lot of weight on that ankle. So I don't know. It's definitely not good. Especially since it was a big deal for him to come back just to get hurt. I mean, it's not good.
First Ilya, now AJ.
I know.
And it must suck to be you.
It's pretty lame right now. Not gonna lie.
Meacham versus Chelsea Green dumpster match. Nasty Canadian Destroyer by Chelsea. Was it by Chelsea Green?
Chelsea Green did it, which was impressive.
Meacham was able to pull off her finisher. Meacham placed a trash can over Chelsea and took to the top rope and dropped on her. Meacham placed a table across the dumpster. Piper Niven comes out attacking Meacham, adorning a cowboy hat. Meacham attacks back while Chelsea is still down. Chelsea was powerbombed. Very well done, honestly. Yeah, Chelsea was powerbombed into the table, into the dumpster by Meacham. Meacham successfully closed the lid and won the match. Chelsea came opened the trash can covered in slop.
I'm kind of wondering if Meacham is going to be getting a championship reign or sometime soon.
I know. I'm so glad that they're pushing her.
She's pushing. She's getting pushed. She's showing her skill.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they supposed to have a women's intercontinental championship or something?
Yeah, they're going to have something like that.
Oh, Meacham better be getting that title.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Backstage, AJ is seen being checked out by the doctor. Seen with the apparent left ankle injury, AJ was sent to be evaluated in the hospital. Naomi is prepping backstage for her match against Tiffany. Jade and Bianca roll in to hype her up for the match, which Naomi gives her props to them now being tag team champs again. Jade and Bianca told Naomi that she will assist in hosting Bad Blood with them. Bayley showed up to tell Naomi that when she beats Nia, Naomi will be the first to get a title match, and good luck against Tiffany tonight. Bayley comes out. She demands Nia come out and even invites the idea that she brings Tiffany with her. Both Tiffany and Nia approach the ring. I must say, Tiffany's outfit was beautiful today. As per usual. She always has really nice outfits. But she looked great. She had a cowboy hat. Nia says that Bayley should say whatever she has to straight to her face. Bayley was like, that's why I invited you out there. What the hell? Bayley says, as long as I've known you, you don't know what that title means to people. Especially people like her who wanted nothing more than to hold it. She mentions the greats who have held it like Molly Holly, but none have had a dominant reign like her. You mentioned other people too, but it was pretty interesting.
Trish Stratus.
That you mentioned
She
Molly
named.
Lita.
But yeah, Lita. Molly
Yeah.
Holly though that was awesome.
Yeah, she was better than most of the other ones.
That's
let's be
true.
honest. Bailey says 2 people can take that title off of Nia. Bailey is one, but Tiffany is the other. Bailey says the moment Tiffany is tired of Nia, she will cash in her Money in the Bank contract. Tiffany cuts in asking if Bailey is saying the only reason she could beat Nia is because of this briefcase. Tiffany claims she doesn't need the briefcase to beat Nia. Nia is offended and Tiffany directs her attention towards Bailey. Bailey rants a little and calls Tiffany a stupid bitch. Bailey attacks both women, grabbing Tiffany's briefcase and beats Nia with it. Bailey holds the title and throws it onto Nia. Bailey and Tiffany kind of have a stare down, and Tiffany holds the briefcase looking at Nia, insinuating to hit her with it, but Nia looks at Tiffany. Cash it in chants ensue, and Nia leaves the ring, and Naomi's music cues. Backstage, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green walk through the halls. Chelsea covered in slop. Piper is gagging at the smell coming from Chelsea. Pretty Deadly pass by and gag at the smell as well. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory come by and gag at the smell. Angel and Berto gag at the smell. And Chelsea walks up to Nick Aldis. He's sort of gagging but making puns about the smell. Nick Aldis says, "You've heard Ellie..." Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. Okay, well, whatever. She ends up getting mad and she walks away. Nick Aldis, Carmelo comes up to Nick Aldis and he said that you heard what LA Knight said. He beat AJ so he can get his match against LA Knight. Nick Aldis doesn't believe that was a win.
No.
But he's got to check on AJ Styles.
That's right.
Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. Naomi is kind of owning at the beginning for a bit. Tiffany did a cool roll onto Naomi over the top rope. It looked kind of botched, but it was still successfully done.
That was good. That was clean.
It was just like she was a little too close to the mat, I think. And she didn't roll in forward enough. I don't know how to explain it. But odd move by Naomi. She's done it before, but she wraps her legs around the head and does kind of like a DDT of sorts. Great counter by Tiffany. Naomi had a hard time lifting. Tiffany had a hard time lifting Naomi. Even putting her on her shoulders was kind of hard, but it was pretty. I was like, whoa. It's pretty shocking because she's done that stuff before and she's been able to do it. Naomi rolled up Tiffany and won somehow. And while Corey Graves was talking, they keep hinting at Tiffany possibly cashing in on Roxanne Perez or Liv Morgan or even Colleen Jordan, which I'm like,
why?
Why would she?
Why?
Well, like, why would she with the NXT stuff? Like,
I think it's
already
just
moved
a way
on.
of just kind of
diverting
it to where what she's really going to do.
Most likely.
Bad blood, basically.
Backstage, Tiffany is seen hurt from the match. Nia comes around saying, "If I hadn't known any better, I think you're trying to tease me on when you're going to cash in. Maybe you should focus on cashing in on Liv because you would actually survive that one. Or you could tell me right now that you won't betray me." And Tiffany promises that Nia is her queen. Backstage, Jacob is saying, "He loves the tribal chief. I love you, Solo."
Yeah.
Calling out DIY, Street Profits, Cody, even Roman. They will respect and worship the tribal chief. And even if you don't do those things, you will acknowledge the tribal chief Solo. Or the real tribal chief Solo. The Tongans barking like crazy, going towards the ring. Street Profits versus DIY versus Bloodline ladder match for the tag team championships. This is the main event. DIY and the Profits are attacking the Bloodline immediately. Lots of stuff happened, to be honest. Like, there was too much going on. So I'll try to put the most important parts. But nasty flip by Angelo Dawkins onto the Bloodline while holding a ladder. Then Montez dived onto all of the men immediately after. Tongaloa took a meet in the middle with his head in between the ladder hanging on his shoulders. Someone was screaming hysterically in the crowd as Tommaso Ciampa was making his way up.
Yeah, someone was.
Botch blockbuster by the Street Profits. Montez was nearly crushed by Angelo and Tommaso. B-Fab grabbed a chair from Tamatonga, who was prepping to hit Angelo. DIY hit Loa and Tamatonga from behind with chairs. Tongaloa positioned onto a table being held down by DIY. Montez does a nasty frog splash onto him. Angelo was slammed through the announce desk by... not Angelo. Tamatonga was slammed through the announce desk by Angelo and DIY. DIY are making their way up the ladder. Springboard jump onto the ladder by Montez was pretty impressive. Both Street Profits and DIY are on the ladder. Tommaso and Angel crash through the ladder into ladder in the corner. She crashed off the ladder into a ladder in the corner. And Montez and Gargano crashed into a ladder on the other corner. Tonga Loa was the one who won this match.
Say it again. Say it again. Say again who it was?
Tonga Loa.
For all you doubters out there, he's getting better each time.
That doesn't, dude. Going up the ladder doesn't mean anything.
Look, for people that were they were very critical on everything. But but the fact is, he went up that ladder, he went up clean, and he did it right.
That is crazy.
Now, of course, Tama Tonga was actually holding the ladder for him.
Oh well, yeah. So he would have.
But that was also part of the show.
Well, the bloodline retained.
Yeah, but hey.
Jacob and Solo walk down the ring and celebrate with the Tongans holding up their ones.
Tama Tonga, yeah, he's doing good. He's getting better.
Match card for next week's SmackDown? I have no clue. I looked it up. I couldn't find anything. There was even no announcements, if I'm being honest. So, all right. Side notes and news for this week. As mentioned earlier, there is a woman coming to NXT. Her name is Delta. Okay. She is set to make her NXT debut apparently at Halloween Havoc on October 27th, according to PW Insider. The signs surrounding her in the vignette that she pointed to said the numbers 10 and 27, hinting that she will show up at Halloween Havoc.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, she is Australian. She looks almost exactly like the Junker Queen. She even sounds like the Junker Queen, too. I was like, oh, my God, she is the Junker Queen. Sorry, I'm a Junker Queen main, so that's why I'm saying that. But she's a really good wrestler. She's very buff. Yeah, I'm really excited to see her. Honestly, I feel like she's gonna be pretty cool. Definitely, NXT is making some damn moves, man. They're having a lot of good people coming in.
She used to wrestle a lot of men.
Yeah, she wrestled men. That was primarily her thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a difference.
Yeah.
She's not going to be doing that in NXT.
No, but, I mean, she's got, Jordan Grace could come in. That's someone who's pretty big.
That's pretty much it, though. Unless
I know.
and then it's like...
Maybe Rhea crosses over.
That would be something.
What, Rhea crossing over?
No, her going up and, being, that'd be like a rivalry between her and Rhea, or they have a tag team.
Oh, dude, a tag team would be awesome. Oh, dude, that would be so cool. That'd be my favorite tag team on earth.
I doubt that's gonna happen.
I know. I don't know. We'll see. Right. Well, anyways, the second side note is The Rock is in Georgia ahead of Bad Blood, which is taking place in Atlanta, Georgia. Taking to Instagram to voice his support for the Appalachia Schools Wildcats team. This was the school where the most recent school tragedy, I can't say the other word, had taken place. His presence in Georgia and being so close to Bad Blood has sparked rumors that he might return to confront Cody Rhodes, especially since this match, the match of the main event, has Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. It seems we don't know if that's going to happen. It remains to be seen.
Who are you talking about, though?
The Rock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So it's possible. And because, like I said, it's the main event.
Showing the final boss and who the real tribal chief is.
Maybe.
We didn't even say that.
It's the main event, so I'm like, it's very possible that he show up. Because you know how they always have,
for sure. I mean, I think that's going to be, The Rock is going to be showing up and showing that he's going to be the actual tribal chief.
Well, that'd be very interesting if that's the case.
It ain't Solo.
No, it's not Solo. PWN revealed that the Order of the Bad Blood pay-per-view will be, get this, Dad, you know what the first match is?
Isn't it the Hell in the Cell?
Yes.
Well, didn't I say that when we were doing our when we were announcing?
No, the first one we were talking about was the Nia one.
No, I sat there and said that. I think if I recall correctly, I said that was going to be the first match.
Oh, well, it is the first match, which I think is pretty ridiculous.
It's not.
It is. Surprisingly, I don't know. It's just very surprising. Then it's Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. Then Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Then Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. And lastly, the main event will be Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I think...
however it is, I mean, it doesn't really matter how it starts off. That just kind of leads it to, kind of puts a lot of pressure on everybody else afterwards. Unless they do some extraordinary match for that Hell in the Cell, then it's going to push every other match to be good, right? Possibly?
You would hope so. I mean, that doesn't always happen, though. No. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
All right, next one. On AEW Dynamite, MVP was featured in a promo segment to reveal his new business partner, revealed to be none other than Shelton Benjamin. The pop for him was great. I'll show it after we're done with this. I'll show it to you because it was great. And as a Team Angle fan, it was really nice to see him get the recognition that he deserves. Following MVP's appearance on AEW, it's confirmed that Bobby Lashley has signed to AEW, likely reforming his trio with MVP and Shelton, although it's likely that MVP will be managing them as the Hurt Syndicate.
Well, yeah, because MVP can't wrestle
He
anymore.
Can't. But this is pretty... That's cool as... that's
cool.
really cool.
That's good.
But yeah, that pop was amazing. It was really nice to see him get that. And you could see it on his smile, like he was really happy for that.
Nice.
So
that's good.
It was very nice to see that.
Congrats.
All right. Now we can talk about the Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman has confirmed that following his last Monster Standing match with Bronson Reed earlier this week on Raw, he was seriously injured when Bronson Reed was Bronson Reed had delivered a Samoan drop onto Braun. Braun immediately grabbed his thigh area and was seen limping. According to Wrestling Observer, he might have torn his groin.
Which is pretty much what he did.
That is terrible.
Yeah,
that sounds terrible.
It's not a good thing at all. And for someone his size.
True.
Yeah. Hopefully Braun Strowman has a speedy recovery. That is going to be pretty rough for someone his size.
Oh, dude, sure. Yeah. I know. He was already in injury for a while.
That's
so
true.
That's true. Unfortunate. But, that's kind of to be expected with the matches that he was having, to be honest. So,
definitely not in his wheelhouse doing those extreme type matches. That's for sure.
All right. Next one. Cody Rhodes appeared on the Pat McAfee show and revealed that this match at Bad Blood will have crown jewel implications, which will be the next upcoming PLE on November 2nd. He said, I have the quote right here, quote, "The title is not on the line, but there is something that happens at Bad Blood. I guess a video package or a vignette that's going to play in the show. I got to keep it vague, but there are title implications for crown jewel moving past. Sorry for being so vague. A little spoiler there." End quote. Interesting. Roman versus Cody crown jewel? I don't know. I doubt it that quick.
Well, it's not going to be a title match, right?
Oh, I don't know if he was referring to...
He said it was non-titled, didn't he?
I don't know if he was referring to Bad Blood in that one.
No. I think he was talking about that it's not going to be...
He said the title's not on the line, but there's something that happens at Bad Blood.
It's The Rock, dude. It's The Rock. That's all it is. It's The Rock.
Well, we'll see soon enough.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be very interesting to see the Rock show up.
It's The Rock, the final boss, the real tribal chief.
The final boss. All right, well, the last one. Braun Breaker revealed a Steiner family reunion. He's keeping it in mind with potentially teaming up with the Steiner brothers for a huge show like a pay-per-view. He did reveal that his father, Rick Steiner, is not interested in getting back into the ring, while his uncle, Scott Steiner, might just be willing to put his stuff back on. He also hinted at his cousin Brock's future involvement in the WWE. Oh, dude, I'm so excited if Scott Steiner shows up. He's my man.
Well, I know his father is not.
Yeah,
his father's not interested in all of that, but that Scott Steiner that'd be something.
Yeah, and I was gonna also say that Bad Blood has like their little meet and greet, like fan event, like today, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And the Steiners are there doing photo, and cool. Diamond Dallas Page.
Nice.
Arn Anderson and a couple other people are doing it as well. But yeah, dude, it would be so awesome to see Scott Steiner show up at some point for something, anything really. It could just be a cameo.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool. And also, it's pretty cool, his cousin being involved. I mean, I've seen his cousin. He's pretty ripped. So that'd be very interesting to see him come in. I mean, I know he's like a football career. I don't know if he's also deciding to change it like Braun did. I'm not really sure.
In college.
Yeah, so
he's a college football player.
Young.
So.
But that's it, you guys.
So Bad Blood. We'll see what Bad Blood leaves us to going into the next. I guess storylines of wrestlers. I guess let's see what other storylines it opens.
I know. I hope it opens something good.
Yes, hopefully.
I was gonna say. Oh, we forgot to also say that the best match of SmackDown was that ladder match, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and for the NXT one, I'm going to go with Julia.
Julia and Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, because, like,
Other
Wesley...
than the Yeah, Corey.
The Wesley and Zach Wentz one was good, but I didn't really like the ending personally. And the same thing goes with the Trick Williams one. That ending was kind of awkward. I must say it was kind of awkward, but overall good show. I would say like best blood. I'd say red blood. Best match of the week, I would say, goes to the Julia match. I really like that match. That was a great match. So yeah, that's basically it, you guys. Let us know what you think about this week's stuff. So,
and if you're excited about Bad Blood,
type woo in the comments.
yeah.
Type hooray.
Hooray, or thumbs up or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I mean, it's like it's good matches.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
All right.
We'll be doing a pay-per-view analysis recap after the show is over. So look out for that. Most likely today, or if not Sunday tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.